There was a village that did well under a careful gaze of its elders in the middle of a huge African bush, where sunset kisses the sky. This village, which is full of traditions and a sense of community, saw a story that would be shared time and again in its past. It was a story about family and dishonesty. At the start of the story, there was a famous blacksmith named Kofi. He was skilled at making tools that looked to bring life to the city. His family was lucky to have twin girls named Adwa and Acosta. They looked exactly the same, but had very different personalities. Adwa was like the fire that danced in their father's forge. He was bright, focused, and always seeking more. Acosta, on the other hand, was like the cool evening breeze, calm, happy, and deeply rooted in the customs of their past. As Kofi came older, the question of who would take over as head of the family placed over them like a storm. According to tradition, his family would continue to help the village with their tools and skills. But against tradition, Kofi saw in Adwa a spark that could start a fresh phase for their skill, even though the village didn't like the idea of a woman taking over as a leader. In the middle of the village, angry tales turned into an uprising of disapproval, which caused betrayal. Not knowing it, a rival blacksmith was trying to cause trouble by playing on the village's fears and opinions against Kofi's choice. This blacksmith was afraid of Kofi's skill and fame. At the start of the story, there was a famous blacksmith named Kofi. He was skilled at making tools that looked to bring life to the city. His family was lucky to have twin girls named Adwa and Akosa. They looked exactly the same, but had very different personalities. Adwa was like the fire that danced in their father's forge. He was bright, focused, and always seeking more. Akosa, on the other hand, was like the cool evening breeze, calm, happy, and deeply rooted in the customs of their past. Akosa made a terrible choice after seeing how much trouble her sister's growth caused for their family. She went up to the rival blacksmith that night and made a deal. She would leave the village if her family could live in peace, and Adwa would be accepted. The rival saw a chance to get rid of his rival and claimed to be the best, so he accepted. But because he had a heart of stone, he broke Akosua's trust by informing everyone that her sacrifice for the village was an act of lack and failure. The sunrise showed how bad the lie was, which caused division in the village. When Adwa learned that her sister was gone, she felt torn between the anvil of her dreams and the hammer of her reality. In a moment of deep clarity, she made a unity symbol, a chain that connected the two halves of a heart, which went for her and Akosa. Using this sign, Adwa met the assembly of the village, her voice remaining calm and steady like the calm that follows a running storm. As she talked about how familial connections are stronger than steel and how lies hurts people. She took off the chain and said she was leaving the town to find her sister and fix what was wrong, not as a blacksmith, but as a sister. People all over the savannah told the story of Adwa and Akosa. It was a story of betrayal, sacrifice, and the strong power of family. The village was reminded that the most significant about a legacy is not the skill that is passed down from one generation to the next, but the love and unity that holds a family together. Thus, in the middle of Africa, under a vast sky, the story of the twin sisters became an icon of hope and peace, showing how strong family bonds can be even when people have betrayed each other.